This is Norm, owned by Pat and Laura Meyer from St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Okay. What I'm going to show you guys here about working Norm on the e-collar is using the tone feature. So what the tone is, it just makes a little beeping sound. And to teach him that, he's first got to understand, physical contact like your leash, check cord, that kind of stuff. And then through the electronic collar training, you teach them through a voice command how to respond to the electronic stimulation feeling. And then from there, we go to the tone. So you can see he's over there sniffing around. And of course, the nose is probably the biggest thing that creates, dogs not responding when you call them. So I'm going to push the tone button right now. And you saw him come. Good boy. So when I pushed that tone button, it was like I was telling him come with my voice, but I was just using that sound instead. So if he went to came back, you have to back it up with your e-collar feeling and your voice. So that's where they make the connection. And what this is really doing is just letting him run around, give him that freedom, but I want him to realize he's with me, I'm not with him. So I usually try and keep the dogs, within 20-25 yards at all times. It's mainly just so he understands, he's going where I go. And he can be all the way around me in that 25-yard circle. He can be behind me. But if I look back and he's outside of it, then I'm going to call him. And occasionally you still want to make sure you reinforce your voice. Calm. Oh boy. So that was no correction, which is your goal. But you always give him that opportunity either with calling him or using that tone as another alternative. But the key is if he doesn't respond, you instantly have to back that up with the command and correction. So I'm going to go back to the tone. I'm going to push it right now. He didn't respond. I'll go to the e-collar. Calm. Good boy. There you go. So you saw in that particular case, he heard the tone, but whatever he was smelling there was more interesting to him than him responding to my voice. So I'm going to do that again because I want to reinforce that tone. So I'm going to push the tone right there. No response. He come. Reinforce it with the e-collar. Good boy. Now this time, come. I'm going to reinforce or just reward with a little treat just because he came back. Attaboy. So I don't what I call treat train as far as getting him to think every time he comes back to me there's a treat. Now in the beginning when they're puppies, I'll do that. When they're probably 4 to 6 months old, I'll kind of mix that in. But in his case, he's already around 2 years old. So the treats are just kind of supplemented in there just to reward him. And actually to kind of keep him thinking, I wonder if I'm going to get something this time, food-wise. And you can see I kind of went in the grass and I'm just kind of out in the big yard here. Basically, I'm just kind of taking him for a big walk, letting him run around. And what the collar does, in theory, is frees him up. So in other words, he's got freedom from off of physical contact, like a leash or retractable leash. Now that's about as far as I let him get. Come. Good boy. So what you see is him coming back excited. So what I was talking about was with e-collar is he's freed up, but I'm still in control of his freedom, which is kind of the theory. So if he's out there and I call him and he doesn't respond, I'm going to make the correction where he's at. In other words, where he's not responding. Okay. You can see I'm just kind of taking him for a walk. There's so many different things he can look at out here. He can check out. But I want him to know he's with me. There again, there's a smell at the tree, so I'll push the tone. Good boy, he responded, so I just move on. And you can see he's pretty confident in knowing that he's going to have to just stick by my side at this point. And I want him to know that he can get away. But see him kind of checking back there. So to kind of summarize that again, when you push the tone, if he doesn't respond, you have to go right to the electronic collar stimulation button, but incorporate your voice at the same time. If you use your voice first and he doesn't respond, the same thing. You go right to your electronic collar correction with your voice. Dog's attention span's only 2 seconds. So if he doesn't respond in that 2 seconds, you need to change a level. So now he's over by that grill. Actually, he's never been back in here. That's kind of why I wanted to use this kind of as a demonstration, new area. I'll push the tone. Go boy. Go boy, Norm. There you go. You saw him come. This time I'll go to my voice. I'll let him get to where he's thinking about something besides me. Come. See him look at me? Now the collar. Come. 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 That a boy. So I just back that up with the e-collar. So the e-collar is not to punish him. It's to create reliability when he's off a leash. Attaboy. So hopefully this little video will help you guys as far as when you use the tone, how you want to incorporate it into your recall. But never forget, your voice is the foundation. Don't just strictly rely on that tone as your only method of calling him in. So I'm going to give him another treat as I call him over. Come. Sit. Good boy. That would be Norm, owned by Laura and Pat Meyer in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Come.